Hello to my Libras. This is Queen Amara coming to you with your weekly message. This message is for September 10th through the 18th, Libras. Let's get right on into it. Thank you for joining me here and over on the Patreon side. I appreciate all the love and light. This setup may look very similar to the beginning for those of you all who've been with me from the very, very beginning, day ones, right? So we're going back to that. So thank you for letting me tap into your energy. If you're interested in a tarot, learning how to read cards, for those of you all who took the free class, congratulations if you want a free class, but they are available online now. So for a limited time, it'll be, you'll see the price. It's very reasonable. Let's get into it. Let's get into your reading though. Let's see what's going on for this week for you, for the 10th through the 18th of September. We just had 9/9 portal. We had a blood moon. Uranus just went retrograde in Gemini on the 6th of September. So that is a lot, right? That's a lot. So hopefully this is going to help you all to close out cycles in love so you can continue moving on. Your first card up here is the Justice card, right? And so the Justice card, this is your very own card. This is your very own card. This week centers around truth, fairness, and balance. It also means that you're seeking alignment and clarity in your decisions, right? What is the challenge here? The challenge is the Five of Swords, right? So conflict or miscommunication may test you, and the challenge is choosing peace over pride and knowing when to walk away, right? Yeah, knowing when to walk away from things. And so your past influences have been the Ten of Swords, right? Past influences have been Ten of Swords. Recently, you've endured an ending or betrayal that shifted your path. Though pain, it has cleared the way for renewal, right? So yeah, a lot of times when you're looking at these cards here, you may feel like, people are playing mind games or whatever the case may be, whatever you may think. I mean, even if you're a reader. So those of you who have taken my class, part of it when helping you to learn how to read cards is not being afraid of your gifts, like really being, becoming more confident in your gifts. For air, connecting us with air would be the heart chakra, right? The basic need is to be loved, to love and to be loved, always making a connection, right? Whereas the solar plexus chakra is always looking for the differences, right? Right. The air, the heart chakra, which is the next one up, that's right between the spiritual and the physical realm, is always trying to make a connection. That's how you hear people say head and heart are always at war with each other. You're trying to make a decision. Why can't you just cut off loved ones like that? Why can't you just, why can't you just cut people off like that, right? Because there's always some kind of hope, right? If you're coming in at the Five of Swords, let's say, for instance, you hear, what TV show used to be really, it's a comedic TV show that used to be really funny at this, is Three's Company, right? Somebody would always walk in mid-conversation, right? And, unless you get to the Ace of Swords, right? You still got Four of Swords, Three of Swords, Two of Swords, Ace of Swords, right? So until you get to the Ace of Swords, everything is going to sound like a mind game, because it always sounds like, okay, it's the middle of something, right? Like somebody playing mind games. So Swords is saying you can either, and then of course you got 5 to 10 here, and you like 5, then you get beyond that is Six of Swords. You can choose to move on from something, or you can stay stuck here, right? You can stay stuck here thinking people are playing mind games, so they can think you playing mind games or whatever. So that's 10 of Swords, right? But what I'm seeing here on this particular card is somebody thriving behind closed doors. Usually 10 of Swords is a person that's lying down, 10 swords in their back, their woe is me, distracted, all of those things. And so future influences is this: a fresh wave of love, compassion, or emotional renewal is coming your way. So this is healing energy flowing into your life. So this lets me know that even though somebody may have come in on like, even though you may feel like you had somebody's back, now you're feeling like they're an open enemy to you. That lets me know that you came in on the Five of Swords of a situation. Five of Swords is like you're coming in like in the middle of something versus the beginning of something, right? And so all somebody knows is that you've been talked about a lot behind your back, and it's very, very painful by loved ones. So you're just like, okay, oh my gosh, okay, that's just the final sword, right? And you feel like somebody's playing mind games with you. And so Source is saying, but you can wash all of that off. This is a fresh cup of water to say, okay, I'm washing that last wound off because I'm thriving. So it's just not going to sit with somebody for too long. And a lot of people have this in common. A lot of people have this in common, because guess what this card is? This card is somebody trying to get a message through to you, right? Without saying what they're saying. You know, it's almost like a person speaking in code to you, if you look at it that way. A person that you love is trying to tell you something by speaking in code, and people do it all the time. It's not just happens in the movies where people just like, okay, let's have a code word just in case, you know, you can't really say, like, speak your mind and say what you really want to say. That's how a person could say, I mean, you know, I can't talk around you right now. See this blood right here on the card? You know, I can't talk. I can't talk right now, right? So that's what Source is trying to let somebody know, is that when it's loved ones, it's not always what people think it is, right? Find out what your zodiac sign is in your 5th house, but that's, yeah, and then find out what your zodiac sign is in your 10th house, right? So 10th house would be your inner calling, or your vocation, or, you know, your career, right? So yeah, whenever people start conversations at 5 of Swords, if we're talking, I'm gonna say, can you start from the beginning? If somebody says, you don't remember so-and-so? If I don't remember, I don't remember. If my mind is like thinking about the rest of the day, and I got this to do and that to do and so on and so forth, the Source is saying you're not gonna do an injustice to yourself by not seeing something at a higher frequency. So yeah, this Ace of Cups is future influences. And so here we have also the conscious goal is the 6 of Wands, right? So you're striving for recognition, victory, and success, and you want your hard work to be seen and celebrated. This is a 6 of Wands here, right? And, you know, the unconscious influences would be the 4 of Swords, which I did have, you know, the 4 of Swords here is you just trying to get your rest. You know, you trying to get some rest, right? So, yeah, so I did have the 4 of Swords out here, but did I put it under one of these cards? But anyway, so it's the 4 with 4 of Swords. I did have the 4 of Swords out here for you all. And so beneath the surface, you may need more rest and reflection that, you know, than you're allowing yourself. And so healing requires stillness, so don't push yourself too hard. And so the advice would be the Temperance card is find harmony and moderation this week. You know, blend patience with action and just allow balance to unfold naturally, right? You're learning how to see something from a higher frequency, because if we're leading in the minor arcana with the 5 of Swords, that just means that somebody is kind of sort of going back in their memory and basically saying someone is a bully, instead of saying somebody is just hearing something, just like starting mid-sentence. You didn't hear a whole thing. You got to remember too, also, and this is not giving anybody any excuses whatsoever, but you also got to consider the source. You also got to consider the source when you're talking about love and forgiveness and trying to make a connection and, you know, this kind of thing, is you always got to consider the source. Who's bringing the information, and why do people feel so comfortable bringing information to you? Were they sitting in their head nodding back and forth like a ventriloquist doll? Like, what was going on in the conversation, right? This is communication. This right here, 5 and 10 of Swords is communication, right? So, so somebody's trying to see something from a higher frequency here. And then in terms of like your external influences is Page of Pentacles here. So Page of Pentacles is a new opportunity for learning, growth, or financial beginnings may be presented by others. So stay open to offers of support, right? So yeah, stay open to offers of support, right? And so your hopes and fears would lie in the Devil card, right? So the Devil card, you may fear being trapped in a cycle of limitations or unhealthy attachments. This card reminds you that freedom is possible when you release what no longer serves you, right? This right here is going to help somebody through whatever you're religious or spiritual beliefs are, you know, it's just bypassing fear, obsession with, oh, somebody is, you know, like playing mind games or whatever, right? Just get to the root of it. Ask the question. Can we start at the beginning? Like, 'cause, I mean, that's the question. And then for your, you know, the outcome would be the World card. This is the outcome. You know, so by the week's end, a cycle reaches completion, fulfillment, achievement, and wholeness are yours as you step into a whole new chapter. That's the bottom line. If you, anytime you feel like somebody is playing mind games, and let's say you're talking to somebody over the phone, and you can tell this, like, just even in the inflection of their voice, that they can't really speak, they can't really talk, they can't really tell you like what's going on, then that's where somebody bypasses fear, doubt, whatever, and immediately go into, you know, your higher self, or try to find the answers within. Something about them doesn't sound right. You got the polarity to the Justice card, which is the Emperor card, which is the God card. Somebody can go right into prayer warrior status, right? Trying to see something from a higher frequency. Something just does, something sounds off. Like something sounds really, really off. Like, because what the devil does is shine a mirror back at you, back at you first, showing you what your demons are, right? That's what the enemy does, shows your demons first before you point your finger at somebody else. So as my demons that I'm a bully, right? If I was projecting something onto somebody else that I am, so that's what Source is basically saying. Like, am I being enemy to myself by basically saying, oh, so-and-so got my back? Am I being an enemy to myself? And I'm projecting that onto somebody else. That's what an open enemy. That's what the Justice. I mean, this card right here rules 7th house. Libras rules 7th house. You are rules 7th house. And so, do I project a shadow onto somebody else before I look at myself? Right? Am I calling somebody else a bully when I'm there's different forms of bullying? Am I bullying somebody? Right? And don't know it, because I'm just thinking of bullying is just one definition of bullying, right? Like pushing or shoving or screaming at somebody or whatever the case may be. Am I bullying somebody? Right? And so Source is just saying, you know, there's too many people that have things in common. Looking at your cards here, you can either be that person that says everybody can't be lying about one person, which everybody, depending on the group of people sitting around that circle, can be lying. Yes, they can, if there's something involved. And what's hitting right here is a new lease on life. So if money is involved, yes, a whole group of people can be lying. Yeah, depending on what people's love language is. A whole group of people can be lying depending on what their love language is. If their love language is money and they want attention, a whole group of people can be lying. So about how someone had a new lease on life, they sure can be. Because you see somebody got blood on their card, I mean their hands here. So somebody's trying to get to the root of something. So you don't start at 5 of Swords or somebody trying to get to the root of something. You start at Ace of Swords. Where is the beginning? So for clarity, because that's what Ace of Swords is clarity, right? So Libra, this week is going to be about balance. It's going to be about healing, renewal, justice, and the Temperance card call you into harmony. While the Ace of Cups, you know, here, and the World card shows emotional healing and completion. So release conflict and attachments that weigh you down, because what's ahead is victory. So clarity and new beginnings, right? So if this message resonates with you, share it with someone who needs encouragement today. As always, stay strong, stay focused, and stay victorious. This we have, let's see, let's set an intention here. You want to set an intention for your week. But yeah, whenever I see the 5 of Swords starting out, or like leading the minor arcana, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, when people don't get to the root of something because they've been stabbed in the back so many times by loved ones, and they just ready to dash off, okay, I guess I can't trust anybody. Sort of saying, you know, a lot of people have that same thing in common because nobody decided to get to gain some clarity. It's time to flourish. It is time to flourish. Yeah, haven't y'all seen with people, you know, like, let's all get our story straight. When you got somebody over there terrified, feeling like they the only one that's standing out in the group, where everybody else, well, let's get our story straight. So it's all of us against that one energy. And that one energy feels bullied by a group of people. And so, yeah, story straight or not. Stand on whatever. So you are protected and loved. So close out the cycle in love. You have the gift of clairsentience. You pick up on others' vibrations, their emotions, moods, and feelings. Yeah, so it's all becoming clear to you now. So trust your first mind. Trust your first mind. You have you start in your own right, meaning obviously, I mean, it's kind of obvious that you have, you know, many stars in the sky to light up the sky. But when people are looking for their own star within themselves, their purpose and the reason why they're here, it's kind of hard to see, okay, a lot of things are crossing over because there's nothing new under the sun. There's really nothing new under the sun. Some of the things that you're going to have in common with some people, some things you won't. But whenever you see 5 of Swords, that's where people think somebody's playing mind games. Guess what? Somebody's going to think the same thing about you, that you're playing mind games. So, you know, do the mirror work. All right. So dance around your home as if no one is watching. Yeah, your inner child is proud of you. And you're protected by angels, whoever you are. Somebody's a succubus spirit. So you have a whole new attitude. And follow your heart. Yep, follow your heart. Yeah, some people do come from loved ones where people talk about you like horribly behind your back, and it's just painful. You're just sitting there, you know, at home, and you thriving behind closed doors because somebody could be a hermit. I mean, like somebody could really, really like being in the house, you know, staying away from drama, chaos, and confusion, and really be thriving. And a lot of people have that in common. So 411. So important relationships. So see the value in those you love. You're called to select one relationship close to you and nurture it in an attentive and loving way. Think about how to tell a loved one how much you care for them, appreciate them, and see them in your life. Make time for them today as you communicate how important they are to you. 411. Yeah. So that pink connects us with the heart chakra. Right? So on the 9-9 portal that we just had, you know, a lot of people close out relationships, and some people may be asking why, right? Trying to make sure we got all the oracle cards here, right? So yeah, somebody could be in somebody could have a connection with a Taurus that's a bully. Because I'm looking at the 5 of Swords here. And somebody could be projecting something onto somebody else. Yeah, because Taurus is the 5th card and is number 5 in the major arcana, and the other sign that shares the planet Venus with Libra is a Taurus. So here we have lighten your load. So it's like basically take a weight off. Like it's like somebody's carrying the weight of somebody else's world on their shoulders. Like, okay, being in front, you know, being connected with an energy that's claiming that other people are bullies, but they're projecting something onto somebody else. So, yep. So somebody is trying to move on from something. You know, a lot of people are trying to move on from something, but yeah. All right, so yeah, you're lightening your load. You're taking somebody else's world off of your shoulder so that you can stand up. So it can either be a Taurus or it can be a religious organization. I mean, it doesn't have to be a Taurus, but it can be a religious organization. We're talking about 5. We're talking about the Hierophant. And so Source is saying, you don't have to be in, you know, yeah, so here we have the crown chakra. Adjust your crown. Whoever you are, adjust your crown. Adjust your crown. Something is happening for you and not to you. A reframe is happening for me, not to me. All right, I think that is it. Hopefully this has been helpful. See you in the next video. Bye.